put together but also cozy, which I guess is kind of my vibe. Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mathilde, I'm a French knitter, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back, I really appreciate it. I haven't uploaded in about 2 weeks and I really wanted to upload a video, and I've been really eyeing up some new and old releases of cable patterns, and I thought I would share them with you. If you know me, you know I love a textured knit, and I just think a cable sweater project for autumn and winter is just the perfect plan. So I'm going to take you through some of those patterns. There are actually two t-shirt patterns as well, two cable t-shirt patterns as well, for those of you who live in the southern hemisphere and who are entering into the spring season. Or you're already in the spring season, but like spring summer season. So I'm going to be looking off to the side a little bit to get the pattern right, but the first one I want to share is a release of August 2025, and that is the two-way pullover my size by Han. This is a DK2 worsted weight pattern, and it features a lovely cable design running down the shoulders, and I just think this is the perfect cable project if you're a beginner, because it's quite, you know, not a ton of cables, you're not knitting cables all over, so that you're not going to feel overwhelmed. It's mainly stockinette, but you do have that lovely cable detail running down the sleeves and down the back of the yoke as well. This isn't the most size inclusive pattern, it only has 8 sizes ranging from a finished bust circumference of 95 centimeters to 145.5 centimeters, or 37.5 inches to 57.25 inches. So yeah, it's not the most size inclusive, but I really like that design. I think this is something that's really come up lately, is a simple basic sweater but with a little bit of a twist, and I think this one is really gorgeous. Another one that reminds me of this simple basic but with a little bit of a twist pattern is one by Toksknits. She started designing this year, and she's come out with the Zuri sweater as well as the Zuri tee, who are obviously in the same family, but one is a sweater, one is a tee, and I think the Zuri cardigan is coming out soon as well, so definitely be on the lookout for that. This is a gorgeous raglan design with another cable running down the raglan basically, but you also have cables for the ribbing of the sleeves as well as the body, and I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, I don't think raglans suit me a lot, so I'm not making a ton of them, but definitely the Zuri cardigan, because it's a cardigan, I feel a little bit more comfortable wearing a raglan cardigan. I think that suits me a bit more than a sweater, and I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. This one is size inclusive because it goes from a double XS to a 6XL. So this is designed to fit a bust of 75 to 160 centimeters, or 29.5 to 63 inches. So a really wide size range. It's again a worsted weight pattern for the Zuri tee. The sweater is DK. I think the sweater, yeah, the measurements are for both the sweater and the tee, and depending on which one you're gonna knit, it's got different yarn recommendations. So I love the versatility of being able to pick which construction or which, I guess, garments you want more in your wardrobe, but still having those really unique details on it. I love when a designer kind of releases a collection of patterns, because it just means you're able to pick and choose which one you prefer. Another new release is the Honey Jacket by Ann Ventzel. She came out with it in August 2025 as well, and this is a DK weight jacket. She held 3 strands of mohair together, so that's going to be a pretty expensive sweater, but you can easily substitute it for either a completely DK pattern, DK yarn, or a fingering and mohair maybe, or fingering and lace weight. Again, this one isn't the most size inclusive. I think Ann Ventzel's patterns aren't the best in terms of size inclusivity. This one is ranging from a bust of 100 to 150 centimeters. I think that's meant to be the finished bust circumference. So it's only got 8 sizes, and it's what I love about this pattern is, first of all, the shaping of it. I think it's quite, not unique, but it's not a cardigan style that you see very often. It's got really wide sleeves, which again I love. It's got rolled edges for the sleeves, which just brings me like to a world of really comfy, like I could see myself wearing this in the mornings to go outside for like 5 minutes to go gardening, or to go on the beach side if you know you're living by the beach or something. I think that would be really, really stunning. And it's got quite a high collar, which again we don't see that much. It's almost like a mock neck, but for a cardigan instead of a sweater. So I think that's really, really gorgeous. And obviously the cable is an all-over cable for this one, which I guess is the honey cable. I don't know what that cable is called, but I just think it's really, really stunning design, and it's really oversized, really cozy, something that you can throw on whenever, and you could just look put together but also cozy, which I guess is kind of my vibe. Next up, we're going into a more traditional looking cabled pattern. This is the Frøya, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the Frøya sweater by Ingrid Deep. She's come out with a few gorgeous designs, I think this year. I haven't really heard of her before, but maybe she's designed a few things in the previous years. This one came out in February. I think she's about to come out with another one which looks a bit similar but gorgeous as well. This one is more of an oversized, almost Rory from Gilmore Girls sweater inspired, a Rory inspired sweater. I've seen it in a couple of colors. In white, I just think it looks, again, traditional, expected, but I've seen it in blue, navy blue, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, it only has 3 sizes, so the size inclusivity for this one isn't great, but I think that's also maybe because of the positive ease. It's meant to have 40 to 50 centimeters of positive ease, which is kind of wild, so I guess you could size up, and if you don't want that much positive ease, you can hopefully size down a little bit. So this is really inspired by Erin fisherman style dream sweater. It's quite a timeless design. I could definitely see myself making it and wearing it. The only thing I'm not a fan of is there's quite a big cable just before the drop shoulder, or just before the sleeve, I suppose. And to me, it feels like it's not quite settled, or at least it looks way more 3D than the rest of the cables. I don't think I love that, but the rest of it is spectacular. I really, really like it. I don't think I would recommend this one for beginners unless you're absolutely motivated by the end result, just because I feel like that one would be quite time consuming, but a gorgeous end result if you feel up to it. For the yarn, she used a worsted plus a mohair, so I mean, at least it would be quite a quick knit because it's knit on pretty big needles. Let's look at an older release, which was the Erin sweater by Irene. This one came out in 2024, but I just think it's such a unique design as well. It's got I'm not sure what you call it, a sailor color, which I think is gorgeous. It's not for everyone, but I think for this design it really, really suits it. And I think if you don't have a sweater like this in your wardrobe already, I think that one is gorgeous. And it's got the bottom, or like the yoke is quite plain stockinette, and then you've got the cable running down the rest of the body and the sleeves, and I think that looks also really, really stunning. It kind of reminds me of a Genzi sweater but reversed. I don't know if that's correct, but that's just my vision of it. Again, this one is knit on pretty large needles, so I think she uses a DK weight yarn. And again, not the most size inclusive patterns, but it's got 7 sizes, and the finished bust circumference go from 109 centimeters to 160 centimeter, or 43 to 63 inches. I'm not sure what the cable is called for this. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's also got, I think, tiny cables for the ribbing, which again just makes this a little bit more, even more elevated. But I do think that the color means you probably can't wear it all the time with everything that you have in your wardrobe. It's just something that you might not wear as much. Now let's take a look at the Hayley Slipover and Hayley Sweater patterns by Iris H. These also were released in 2023 and 2024, but I really love that combination that you can choose either if you want the sweater version or the sleepover version. The sleepover just it's just screaming dark academia vibes to me. So hopefully you see that as well. The sleepover is knitted with an iron weight yarn, so should be pretty quick to knit. She's also made it quite cropped, so if you want the same look as the sample pictures, I mean, it's not that much knitting, I suppose, although it is all over cabled. I love the cables that she's chosen. I really like the difference from this to the other cable sweater, all over cable sweater we've seen so far in this video, where they have a honeycomb brioche, no, a honeycomb, I think it's called the honeycomb cable running down the front. This one, it's not that, it's 4 smaller cables, and I like the honeycomb cable, but I do like this as well a lot better. This is an inclusive pattern. It's available in, I think, 9 sizes. I just counted and I forgot. Yes, 9 sizes, going from a 76 centimeter to 157 centimeter bust circumference, or 30 inches to 62 inches. I think this is meant to be the finished bust circumference. I'm not sure, it's not specified in the listing. And that's for the sleepover. And for the Hayley sweater, I'm not going into too much detail about these patterns, but all the links will be down below if you're interested in knowing more. This sweater has the same size range, I think about the same amount of positive is intended, but it is knitted with a DK weight yarn. If you're interested about those patterns, I have a discount code which I will put on the screen, as well as a link down below in case you're interested. It's just an affiliate link, so it's at no extra cost to you, but it just supports me a little bit if you purchase 1 or 2 of those patterns. I've got the Hayley Slipover pattern in my library, and I'm hoping to get it done, or like to get it on my needles next year, because I think it's just really, really cute. Now, another kind of cozy, oversized cardigan is the Cozy Cottage Cardi by Ann-Kathrin Stoll. This again is a newly released pattern, and it's just an absolutely stunning cardigan, oversized. It doesn't really have a button band, it's got like double knitted edges but no buttons in it. I suppose you could easily add buttons if you wanted. This is an all-over cabled sweater, and I think it's got a little bit of brioche as well, so definitely a little bit of an intricate design. If you're not feeling confident about it, like if you're a beginner and you're not sure, maybe this isn't the easiest design, but it looks really, really gorgeous. Oh, it's half brioche, not brioche. The size range is quite small as well. It goes from XS to double XL, so 120 centimeter bust circumference to 206 centimeter, and I don't think it's got inches, so I don't know what that is in inches. It's meant to be worn with 30 to 50 centimeter of positives, so I mean, I guess depending on the amount of positives you have, you can pick and choose which size you want, because there's a lot of positives. But I just think it looks so cozy. The one thing I would be slightly worried about is that it seems to be quite narrow on the shoulders, and I would, because there's no button to hold it closed, I would quite be worried about it falling down my shoulders. But I mean, that's kind of the look as well, so depending on what you want, I suppose. And this is knit in bulky weight yarn, so would be pretty quick, I suppose, although it is half brioche, so and cable, so maybe not. This one is a little bit closer to the Frøya sweater. It's another all-over cabled sweater by Veta Romanenkova. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And it is the Ogden, again, hopefully I pronounced that right. This has 9 sizes available, ranging from a 36.5 to 60.5 inches, or 92.5 to 154 bust circumference. So quite a large size range. And this is one thing that I loved about the Hayley slipover and sweater, and that I love in this one is, again, you don't have that honeycomb cable detail on the front, but you've got tiny cables, like vertical lines of cables. I suppose it's always vertical lines, but you know what I mean. And then quite large diamond shaped cables. And what I like about this one is that, again, contrary to some knitting patterns that I've seen before, it doesn't have moss stitch or double moss stitch inside of those diamonds, but reverse stockinette, which I think is also really, really pretty. I think it's a little bit of a twist on a traditional Aran's cable sweater. That was a mouthful to say. So I really, really like that. And this is knit with a worsted weight yarn, so perfect for the winter. Finally, let's take a look at a new, again, release. And this one is, I've definitely been eyeing up this last few weeks. This is the Shoreline sweater by Hayley Smedley, or Ozetta. She also has the Shoreline tee, which came out 2 weeks before the sweater. This one is, again, definitely far from a traditional cable sweater. It's definitely a little bit more out there, I would say a little bit more modern, but I absolutely love the look. I think this one is, I didn't really talk about constructions, hopefully you don't mind. This one I think is a saddle shoulder construction, and I just love the wavy motif that this has instead of a traditional cable detail. This has got a wide size of ranges as usual for Ozetta's pattern. It goes from a bust circumference of 28 to 60 inches or 71 to 152 centimeters. The sweater is knitted in lace plus sport, so a DK to heavy DK weight yarn, and the Shoreline tee as well is a DK weight yarn, but it's obviously meant to be an easier yarn to wear in the summer or spring or autumn, I suppose. I just think that these patterns they've got so much texture, but as well it's a little bit hidden in a way, like it's not a big heavy cable that you can see from miles away. But I really, really love that design as well. And I mean, I've seen everyone online on Instagram love that pattern, rave about it. So I think this one is definitely popular for a reason. And I love Ozetta patterns, they're always so clear. So if you're quite unsure about making a cabled sweater, maybe this one is for you, because I know Ozetta's pattern will always be clear, hopefully. I haven't knitted that one, but yeah. I've definitely been eyeing it up, and I've never done a true proper saddle shoulder construction, so I would really, really love to make a sweater like that next year. So I don't know if I'll make the sweater version or the tee version. I absolutely love the tee version as well. We'll see, but it's definitely on my to-knit list if I've got enough time on my needles, which I probably don't. If you liked any of these patterns, please let me know in the comments. I always love to hear what you're going to be knitting on next, what you've been knitting. So maybe if you have other cable designs that you love or that you've been eyeing up and are going to knit this upcoming season, let us know in the comments. Share it with all of us because that's always very helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!